What's going on, everybody? Aaron Zamzow here from firerescuefitness.com. Today we're going to talk about functional training and what does that actually mean for the fire service. What is functional training if you're a firefighter, if you're an EMT, if you're a paramedic? Now, this is a topic that I, as a fitness trainer, have been talking about for the last probably 20 years. Functional training this, functional that. And in the gym setting, sometimes it gets a little bit carried away, or trainers get a little bit too carried away, where they're having people chew bubble gum, stand on one foot on this balancing board, whistling Dixie and pulling bands. I think, what is that actually? Or how is that functional? I think sometimes we get the functional and fancy almost confused. In general sense, what functional training is, it's training the body for activities performed in daily life. That's it. So as a firefighter, as an EMT, and as a paramedic, we got to break down what do we do in our job? What is our playing field? What are the motions that we do on a daily basis? What are the hardest motions we have to do on a daily basis? Functional training then means preparing for those particular movements, for those particular calls in this case, and those activities. So you could break it down and look in the terms of a mom or a dad or, a carpenter or, an accountant or whatever it might be. Physically, how do we train that particular person for that job? Well, we look at, moms, a lot of times they're chasing kids around. They got the old hip out. So you look at, from a trainer standpoint, alleviating the tightness in one hip, strengthening both sides, working on balance. When you look at firefighters and EMTs and medics, our playing field is very vast. We do a lot of different things, right? We climb, we carry, we crawl, we push, we pull, we hoist stuff up overhead. We're constantly doing those things repetitively. And then you could throw that we do those things on air. Right? And then when you throw that, on air, then you got to go back and do it again. And in stressful situations. That is a very diverse playing field that we need to prepare for. So functionally training for that means doing things that incorporate those movements into our workouts. So, let me ask, when's the last time you did crawling and made crawling part of your workout? When's the last time you just carried heavy stuff? Have you done pushes? Have you done pulls? Have you dragged things around? When's the last time you did that? And then even taking that a step further, do you improve your mobility so you can do those movements? All of those movements that we talked about, the push, pull, carry, climb, sledge, slam, drag, all include core movements, and none of them involve isolating. So if you're in the fire service and you've been doing a back and biceps, chest, triceps workout, my question to you is that functional? Now, we could go through a ton of different arguments on this, but I'm trying to get you to think about training a little bit differently as a firefighter, as an EMT, and as a paramedic. Look at what our playing field is. We hoist patients, we move patients, we carry them up and down steps, right? They always seem to fall, between the toilet and the bathtub with, fecal matter all over the floor. How do you train for that? Well, you work on balance. You work on core strength. You work on getting strong through what we call the transverse plane, twisting, which is where a lot of injuries happen. So you want to make sure that you're doing plank movements, where you're doing, rotational planks. You're doing some cable and band work through that transverse plane, doing balance work. And going back to my full body, at some point you want to make sure that you are training full body. I'm not saying don't go to the chest, tricep, back, biceps, but look at what we do on the playing field and ask the question, how does that correlate? And with FRF, we do have programs that do isolate, but we also incorporate in functional training techniques that include crawling and stairs and cardiovascular work, using them in intervals and stations. So functional training for the fire service, functional training as an EMT, as a medic, as a firefighter, really comes back to looking at what we do and making sure that your workouts help you do those things better. And this is just a taste of what we talk about and what we do here on the FRF YouTube channel. You can also tune in on Facebook. I got a podcast. But go to firerescuefitness.com for more information, more blog posts. I hope this enlightens you a little bit about what functional training is. And stay tuned. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll go through a lot of different ways that we can train more functionally for the fire service.